The first rule in ice climbing, you don't fall. The tools you're using, the sharp points on your feet and in your hands, the danger that your own tools puncture something and cause a much more severe injury. You also could sever your own rope. There's an element of mental toughness that has to overcome that fear, while the fear is still present and keeps you aware of every possible scenario. You have to learn how to control that fear in order to take on leading ice. The geology of the area would be a good place to start, with the way the rivers have carved out very deep canyons that have really steep relief. And that's the biggest thing you need in forming vertical ice. And we're lucky here on the North Shore, and the farther you go north up into Thunder Bay and all the way to Nipigon, the bigger that relief gets. And that creates more opportunities to climb and brings more challenges with it if you're trying to do multi-pitches, more than one rope length at a time, too.
We're talking about ice climbing, so we'll talk about ice tools. And an ice climber will have two of them. It's got a recurved pick on it. With a proper swing, will stick into the ice. Well-placed ice tool is super strong bomber, as climbers would say. On your feet, you're wearing a rigid boot, kind of like a ski boot, but better for hiking around to get to ice climbs. And then on the boot is attached a crampon. It's got a whole bunch of sharp points on it, but the most important part is one or two front points, and you kick or place those front points into the ice. And again, bomber placements, really good way to ascend vertical ice. Ice climbing is a repetitive sport. So you have a big sheet of ice you're going to climb up. You place an ice tool, place your feet, place another ice tool, place your feet again.
For me, safety starts with trusting the partner you have. Climbing is a two-person, at least, sport. People have to put their entire safety and trust into another person as their belayer. So one person is on the ice or rock climbing up, and the other person is managing the rope to make sure there's not too much slack in the system. So if you unexpectedly fall, you're getting caught by the rope. And that person at the bottom is holding onto the rope to prevent the rope from sliding through and you falling further. When I think of climbing, is the trust that you have to have in your partner for communicating to make sure your ropes are tied correctly, you know exactly how far you're climbing. If you can't hear the person who's at the top, how are you going to know how to safely get off the rope, let the next person climb, and some of that.
If you are in a place where you've had a close call with ice climbing, either you're on a really serious route that doesn't have a lot of great places to place protection or to back off the climb, or you've just completely gotten in over your head.
You got it!
We tried to take this progression and not do anything too outside of our ability level, because, like we said before, falling ice climbing, you're really rolling the dice.
While we like going outside of our comfort zone to challenge ourselves, we never want to put ourselves in a position where we're taking risks that really could end our enjoyment of the sport and our involvement in it.
I don't think so, guys. I'm sorry. You know, they say don't fall ice climbing. The people that I know who have fallen ice climbing, they're broken. You're gonna break bones. You're gonna puncture yourself with your ice tools. So it's a serious thing.
And just loose the rock. Watch out, rock.
Okay.
Woo!
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
And then the reality of getting into those dicey, stressful situations. We have to find a way to support each other, whoever's up on the ice.
If I were a little taller.
needs to
don't
know
know.
that their partner on the ground is behind them and with them.
All right, here we go. Got it.
And can talk them through it or talk them down if that needs to happen.
That's probably not good. Neither is that. Huh? You think so?
And the number of tears I've shed while climbing, but still enjoying it and still knowing that my partner's there for me and that it's not going to change anything in our relationship if I can't get to the top of a climb. That all just builds a deeper level of trust.
Fantastic. A lot friendlier than the last one I climbed. So I'll take it. Always fun to end on a rock. A tree.
That it's really not about where you're climbing or if you got to the top or if you sent that route. It's about who you're climbing with. And it's really aesthetic too. Like, some people look at these climbs and they just get to look at them, but we get to go play on them. Everything from the sound that your tool makes swinging into the ice and your crampons make swinging into the ice to the feeling when you swing into the ice and the spray coming off the ice, or even the sound of some ice falling down the climb below you. It's just aesthetic. I love every aspect of climbing.
I think that's why people do sports and go out and adventure, because there's an element of the unknown, and I think that anxiety and a little bit of heart racing that comes with the many activities that exist on the North Shore and beyond, it's that appeal that gets you adventuring to new places. And it's exciting to master, a certain level of ice, and there's different ratings, and once you master that, it's really exciting to think, now I'm capable of conquering a new level of fear and a new challenge. And there's always going to be more challenging, more vertical, bigger pieces of ice out there. And that, to me, means we'll always have new challenges to face, and it'll take us to new places too.